The rattling sound of brush cutters reverberates in the empty Namugongo minor basilica grounds in Kira municipality, Wakiso district. The area should have been abuzz with activity by now, with throngs pouring in from all directions. A pull of the congregation on 3rd June is the spiritual connectivity through the intercession of believers martyred in 1886 at the behest of Kabaka Mwanga.
There is always an edifying element in these stories, whereby I listen to your story of sickness, see how much you have suffered, how much you have persisted in your faith, yet mine is maybe a little minor, and I'm already discouraged, and I feel edified and encouraged to keep on believing and keep on faithful, so that when you go back, you really feel encouraged by what you have heard. This is one of the elements we are going to miss here.
Last year, an estimated 3.5 million people graced the Martyrs' Day celebrations.
You know, when you talk of pilgrims, we can talk of pilgrims coming during the course of the year. Those normally, I would say we get roughly about 40 to 50 a day. Those the two categories of pilgrims. And on Sundays we get a bit of a bigger number. Then on the 3rd of June, I don't say 3rd of June, but 3rd of June celebrations, during the novena up to the last day, I would not be in a position to give you roughly the number, but they are quite big numbers, both from Africa and from outside Africa.
The Namugongo gates have for 2 months not admitted a single tourist, following restrictive measures that came in place in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic.
Wherever they come, some give a contribution to the running of this place. So we are missing that resource, but we also are missing that chance to tell the story of the Uganda Martyrs and also accompany them in their faith journey.
This aura of emptiness cuts across the Anglican ground.
So we are really challenged because works are not moving as earlier planned. We have limited workers on site to avoid congestion of people here. And where we get the material, some of these stores are closed. So there are minimal works going on, but we are pushing on. Had our plan of launching this museum on the 1st of June, this 2020, and we had a lot of, the plans are out, the artworks are being done, so we were much prepared to make sure it is being launched.
The Anglican Church planned to launch a museum detailing the martyrdom, with funding for the completion of the structure coming in from government.
Money we are using now, it's money that we had earlier saved during the tourists that were coming in last year up to the time when we had to close the museum due to this corona disease. So, but we're expecting some money from the government to fully complete this structure, but due to the corona time, there's been a small challenge. But the government has pledged to fully give us the 1.8 billion shillings to complete this structure, and we are hoping to be coming soon.
The idea is the brainchild of the late Archbishop Livingstone Palanyi Koyoyo, whose construction commenced in 2018. This year would have marked a century since the beatification of the 22 Catholic martyrs in 1920.
I would not come out with a clear plan because we are just in the initial stages. But I think when the lockdown and everything turns normal, for sure something wonderful will be done.
The cancellation has left the tourism industry reeling. John Sempewa is the proprietor of Semagulu Museum in Mutundwe.
This is the only place where you come to understand that Kabaka Mwanga is actually not the one who ordered those killings.
Semagulu Museum peaks during the May and June period. The museum is centered on the history of Buganda.
We have bookings from over 100 schools to come here. Now, the way things are, the schools are closed. What does this mean? That a school like King's College Budo, when it comes here, it brings about 3 buses. We are talking about 200 students.
Well, I think it goes without saying that the numbers won't be as big. Of course, we had expected to have more than 3 million visitors this year. This is because we had held campaigns with the Catholic Church and the Ministry of Tourism in Nigeria, mainly to promote the pilgrimage during the Akwaba African Togo Market held in Lagos.
There were coming about 90 of them, and we're going to make quite some bit of money. But most likely, they are not going to come. I can confirm that they have cancelled. They regret that this time they were going to come, but they are not going to come.
It is the first time in 100 years the Martyrs' Day celebrations have not been marked since the religious community started observing the day. This history, however, shines a light over return to normalcy at the end of all this. Jackson Onyango, NTV.